Hello everybody, this is Becky Browning with Wallflower Greetings, and welcome to another episode of Crafty Trails where I teach you how to craft on the go. So today we're going to talk about coloring, and I don't know about you, but it's one of the most relaxing things that I love to do. I love to just sit and color, whether that's using crayons, I'm still a big kid, or whether that's using other tools. So I'm going to show you a few projects that you can do that take very little time and effort, really very relaxing, and take minimal materials and supplies. So I'll show you a few samples here that I did, and we'll start with this card on top here. This one was made using a stamp set called Butterfly Basics. It's one of my favorites. It's in the annual catalog, and it is a great little stamp set for these images that you see here. I love this happy birthday. It's a great, pretty, easy design. And if you recognize this flower here, if you were with me a couple of weeks ago, I did a demonstration, actually a couple of demonstrations on how to use the new Stamp-a-ratus. Now the Stamp-a-ratus is available coming up in the new annual catalog, which will be out in June, and you'll have the opportunity to order at that time. We had an opportunity to pre-order those, so if you got your hands on one, I know that you already love it as much as I do. I had not used it before, so that was a first time when you saw me make this project. So I will post a couple of links down below if you missed it and you want to watch my demos. But I was kind of learning as I went along, but I love it. I think it is one of the best things that has come out in a long time because it allows you to position your stamps perfectly every time so you get really nice images. So it allows you also to mass produce cards very quickly. So I did 4 different ones of this image. So what I did, once I had it stamped, which I already did a couple of weeks ago, I wanted to add a few things to it, obviously. I could have left it alone because it's pretty just by itself, but I wanted to color it in. So I used some Stampin' Right markers from Stampin' Up. And what I love about these markers is they have 2 ends. They have a brush tip and they have a fine tip end for writing. But what I also like about the fine tip is you could actually color in, maybe not quite as dark if you just want a light touch, as I did in this flower here. I wanted a watercolor look, so I also left some white spaces as well. So this was very easy, didn't take very long at all. I used a couple of Stampin' Right marker sets in both the in colors, both the 2016-2018 in colors right here, and the current 2017-2019 in colors. Now, something to kind of remind you about is that with the new annual catalog coming out in June, it'll be out June 1st or 2nd, is that the in colors for 2016-2018 will be going away. So this group of colors right here, and I will post a link to the information and all the colors down below in the comments, but these colors, all the inks, all the paper, all the designer series paper that have the colors in them, all the ribbon, those things will be going away. So if you like them, if you already have them, you might want to stock up on ink refills. Or you may want to stock up on paper, ribbon, all those things, because those will go quickly. There will be a retiring list that will come out in April, and they will go quick. So be looking for that. I'll post more information as we get closer, but I just want to kind of mention that because these will go really quickly. And I love these colors. When they first came out, I thought, not sure how they work together, but I did a lot of colors, kind of featured those in this project as well as some, my card base is Peekaboo Peach, so that's those colors there. The other samples I want to show you is using coloring designer series paper. So the next one I have to show you is this card right here. Now I haven't finished it. I haven't decided what sentiment or what I want to do, but I do want this to be the focal point, my designer series paper that I colored. And again, I just used the Stampin' Right markers in different colors and had a lot of fun doing this. Again, wanted the watercolor look, so I wasn't precise, which, you know, that's really nice because I'm not worried about, you know, getting every little nook and cranny. I'm not worried about, you know, whether I even get outside the lines, which I probably did, because I wanted that watercolor look. And to me, that's just more relaxing. So I tend to do that. Here's what the Designer Series paper looks like uncolored. It's right here. And this is Petal Passion from the Occasions catalog. And here's the other side. It's got some really pretty, I guess, little blossoms and buds in blacks and grays. So I love this paper. There's lots of possibilities for it. Of course, it is pretty just left alone by itself as well if you wanted a monochromatic look. Or you could simply just color a few focal point flowers as well, and that would look pretty also. All right, so the next sample that I have to show you is this one right here. This is just another one. These are little teapots that I colored. This didn't take very long at all. I don't know that I necessarily like how this turned out. I don't know if my color choices could have been better. But anyway, that just gives you an idea of, you know, another way to color, other things to color. This paper comes from the annual catalog. So this is some Designer Series paper in there. There's lots of different patterns that you can choose from. All right, so my final sample, I did something quite different. I still color Designer Series paper. This Designer Series paper is a featured product that you can get free with a $50 purchase. So this is a Sale-a-bration item. This is called Spring Foils Specialty Designer Series paper, and isn't that pretty? And I don't know if you can tell, it's got some foil in it. This is silver in this case. I think there's other patterns that have silver, gold, and I think a copper color. But let me show you what it looks like when it's not colored. If I can find it. Just put it aside here. Here it is. Here's a piece that's not colored. And again, this is pretty by itself, okay? But I wanted to spice it up a bit. And so for this one, now I probably could have used the Stampin' Write markers, but I was afraid it might, because this is a little bit shinier. It's a shiny cardstock. It's kind of slick, so I didn't know how well it would adhere to the cardstock and whether it would be all over my hands and fingers and bleed everywhere. So I decided to change it up and to use our Stampin' blends. So these are the blends. These are alcohol-based markers, and I just used two basic colors. I used Daffodil Delight and Old Olive, and they come in 2 packs, so you have a light and a dark of each color, and that gives you more variety in your blending. And what I love about alcohol-based markers is that it gives you more variation in shading, as you can see here. I spent a little bit more time, but this still didn't take very long at all to color this. So I just, you know, spent some time doing a little bit more shading. And the Stampin' Write markers give you that variation, and it's really easy to do. Now, I can't say that I'm an expert. There are some people that do some really beautiful things with these markers. I don't know that I'm necessarily one of them, but I do love playing with them and seeing what kind of colors and variations I can get. So Stampin' Write blends are really a lot of fun, and those are available in the annual catalog, and you'll also see them featured in the Occasions catalog as well. Okay, so that is just an overview of some of the things you can do with coloring. Granted, this is not the only thing you could do. You could do watercolor. There's, you know, just all kinds of coloring tools, including one of my favorite tools is the watercolor pencils, which is also featured in the annual catalog. That's another fun option. But here are the samples again, just all 4 of them here. And so this is a really simple project that you could pre-cut some of your paper and just take it with you and do some coloring. You could, you know, stamp some images, you know, with some line images that you might have in your stash of stamps, and just, you know, spend some time coloring on the road. It's also good for kids. If you can find some really good images that would be fun for them to color, that would be neat too. In fact, there is a butterfly and a flower, and let me see if I can grab it real quick, from the Occasions catalog. I've been traveling. I'm actually at home today, but I've been traveling, so I still have things in my suitcase. but here it is right here. This is called Beautiful Day. This is in the annual catalog, and it has a really pretty butterfly and a flower. And these are big, bold images, which would be fun for a kid to color. Let me just show you how big these are. Here's the butterfly, and it's a nice big size. I really love that. Nice and bold. So that would be really fun if you're, if you would wanted to stamp some images for your kiddos to keep them kind of busy while traveling. Well, thank you so much. If you've joined me during this episode or you're joining me later, I appreciate you. Thanks for watching. If you like what you see, please give me a thumbs up. And also comment down below for your chance to win a prize drawing, which will be done at the end of the month for the month of March. Also, be sure if you think somebody would like this, please share it. I would appreciate that. Finally, I do have some upcoming events in March that are coming up to kind of end Sale-a-bration on a high note, because Sale-a-bration will end March 31st, so you have 16 more days to participate and to get some really cool free stuff with purchase. So at the end of the month, I'm going to have a birthday stamp-a-stack, and that's where you have the opportunity to stamp 16 cards, four of four designs, and that is a lot of fun. And you get a good group of cards for your stash to give to people or to share however you'd like. And then I also am planning a new event, which I just kind of came up with last week. So if you joined me last week for Crafty Trails, then you would have saw that I was working with punches, because I love punch art. I think it's really fun. It's a great way to add texture and dimension to your projects. So we're going to do an event on the same day as the Stamp-a-Stack, so you have the choice of attending one or both, and it is all about punch art. So I hope that you will join me. I will set up links where you can register through events on Facebook as well as on my blog. So again, I hope you will join me for that if you're in the area. Thanks again for watching. Stay tuned for more episodes. Stay tuned for next week, next Wednesday, when I'm back with another Crafty Trails. Take care, my friends, and have a lovely evening.